Today's advice is not for people who believe in being authentic and genuine and being yourself and the creative pursuit. Trash that, okay? If you want to be commercially successful, you're going to have to take everything you think about just being yourself, being true to yourself and your creative artwork and art and blah, 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 and just set that aside for a second, okay? You will ultimately rebalance, I promise. We need to swing the pendulum in the other direction, exact opposite, so that the average of these two will be right in the middle, which is your sweet spot, where you are creating what matters to you, but it's an Venn diagram with what matters to other people. That's what we want for you. I'm Joshua Lisec. This is Daily Persuasion. I am the New York Times bestselling author and co-author, a ghostwriter of now 100 nonfiction books as of 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time last Friday. I'm also a certified hypnotist. Through this unique set of experiences, I teach you how to influence the VIPs of your life and career. We will often curate current events on this channel so that you have a sense of what's going on in the world to make sense of what's going on in your world. I want to talk about BookTok. I keep getting approached by novelists and aspiring novelists who want to write stuff that's going to sell, which is natural of you. I browsed the Penguin Random House news page and they laid out what's happening on BookTok. Now, the BookTok is the TikTok decentralized place where people are giving and receiving recommendations for what books to read. Most of them are novels. Most of the authors and readers are women in their late teens through very early 30s. That's the population. So I went and looked at the page, and I want you to notice something. I don't need to give you the titles, but I'm going to give you the context of them. So, in no particular order, we have a novel that is a mashup of classic fairy tale with romance with paranormal. The next one is a combination of mystery and thriller mashup. The next one is a romance story, but has the summer romance fixation on it. The next one is a blend of historical fiction and science fiction. The one after that is a sort of retelling of a classic myth with some fantasy, a little bit of sci-fi woven in, and of course it's romance. It's a love story. All of these characters so far, by the way, all of the protagonists are female. Then we have a sort of queer lesbian fiction type of story that's romance mashed up with the post-apocalyptic zombie sort of genre. And then the one after that is a coming of age story that is set in the summer romance section for young adults. Multiple mashups there. Okay, are you hearing something? Are you seeing something? Oh, and by the way, the next one is Western romance. What young adult? Yes, it's true. That's a thing. Okay, every single one of these is minimum 2 genres mashed up. Going down a little bit further, you see, quite hilariously, a love triangle young adult fiction novel in which the 2 male suitors are, respectively, a vampire and a werewolf. It's 2025, not 2010. And yet. What do we take away from this? Well, the genre mashup is queen of all content now, all fiction content, specifically for women. The vast majority of fiction readers are women, with one exception, and that is the best-selling fiction list. So if you go and look at what's bestsellers in fiction, like one of the major lists, like New York Times bestseller list, there's some parity there, actually. Men do go and look, okay, what are the thrillers? What's the political historical fiction there? And a lot of men will read from those lists. Oftentimes because you'll find some more male and or traditionally stereotypically masculine themes that show up in those bestseller lists. Not all of them, but some of them. The ones that are showing up on BookTok, some are New York Times and USA Today bestsellers and Publishers Weekly bestsellers, some are not. It sort of depends. But oftentimes people will say, I just have this great story in my head, Joshua, and I had AI run through it, and I've got a great outline and plot point, and it's only one genre. It's not a mashup. It's based on a real life story, like it's a sort of a memoirization of their life. I hear this all the time, and there's no mashup component. It's sort of like they want to sort of write their memoir like it's a novel or inspired by or something. No, no. The astute author will recognize, no, you need to up the ante. So this means you're going to have 2 or 3 genre mashups. It needs to be more extreme, spicier, radical, controversial. Because if you notice super consumers of fiction, what are they like? They're like addicts, where they have a hit and it's good, it's pleasurable. So then they buy the next one from the same dealer, author, and then the next one, and then the next one. And then they need something that's a little bit more extreme. So perhaps this love story, this triangle with your friendly neighborhood vampire and werewolf brute. Perhaps they throw in a little bit of BDSM dungeon action. Ooh, make it spicier. And then the next one, they introduce the unspeakable, at least for YouTube. And the addicts of fiction are going to eat that up, of course. The lesson here to take away is a lot of people who are over here in the creative pursuits and being authentic and genuine, you need to spend some time way over here and think, what would it look like if I wrote what people wanted to read, regardless of whether or not I cared about it? If you're familiar with any great artist, you think it's creative, you think it's just inspiration. No, it's the grunt work. It is, what do you want that I can create? It's that overlap, that Venn diagram right there. The creator of Dilbert, Scott Adams, has famously said, of course, many times that he has not often found Dilbert comics to be funny. The ones that he himself wrote classically, going back to the 1980s. But he was writing them for an audience. And yet it looks like, if you're a second-party observer, it looks like he absolutely is having the time of his life. Now, he has been with the Dilbert Reborn series, which is sort of the spicier version of Dilbert for internet subscribers to his X and to his Locals platform. Both worth it, by the way. Absolutely hilarious content. Just incredible content. So as you spend some time over here, you will find yourself rebalancing and being like, okay, from what people are buying that I can create, I think there's some bits of it that I actually like to do and I'm interested in. It's not my first choice, but it's a choice I am willing to make, and I can even run with this. And so when you're in the confines or within the boundary of what people are going to buy, it eliminates all the things you could sell to just those things that you are actually willing to buy because, or rather, you actually want to create, because it could be a lot of fun. If you've seen the icky guy demographic, or rather the graphic, it's the overlap of what the world needs, what you're good at, what you can be paid for, what you're passionate about, these 4, and then it's the overlap in the middle. Well, let me tell you something. If the world needs it, that means you're willing to buy it. So that means you can get paid to do it. And if you're good at it, you're going to get paid to do it. So that's 3 things that are actually one circle, really. Not a 4-part Venn diagram with a bunch of circle overlaps, okay? It's just one. And then the other is you enjoy doing it. So notice how we have this overlap of these 2. The pendulum's going to swing, okay, and then it's going to meet in the middle. That's okay. That's actually where you want to be. First start with, what are people buying? And then you think, what am I actually good at, or can be good at very quickly, of selling that are the things that people buy? That is the most powerful wisdom I can give you on the matter of commercialization meets creativity so you can be successful. That's Daily Persuasion.